This is the history of the Battle of Mbumbi, 1622. This is the history of the African kingdom that refused to bow to the Portuguese army. Pay attention. Akebulem. You see, in the early 1600s, the Portuguese were spreading their army across Africa. But an African kingdom refused to bow to them. That African kingdom is known as the Kingdom of Ndongo, in what you know today as Angola. This battle happened in the year 1622. You see, the Portuguese had everything. They had guns, they had muskets, they had merchants, they had ships. Yet, this African country refused to bow to them. Pay attention. You see, the Portuguese needed access into the interior part of Ndongo Kingdom. They expected Ndongo to fall, just like every other territory in Africa. But then, when they walked into Ndongo Kingdom, they were expecting to find fright in the villages. They were expecting to find men who will hide under their wives' blankets. But they were surprised. They were shocked with what they found. What did they find? They found warriors. They found organized resistance. They found people who were ready to fight. Because the warriors of Ndongo Kingdom were led by a man who was a brother to a woman called Njinga Mbande. He led them to a place called Mbumbi. That is why that confrontation today is known as the Battle of Mbumbi, 1622. That was a very brutal battle. In that battle, spears crashed against muskets. The cries of wars filled the air. In that battle, a lot of things happened. Warriors charged into gunfire. And when the battle was over, the battlefield told the story. Because the bodies of the Portuguese army was found unalive on the ground. The Portuguese army were stopped from entering into the interior part of Ndongo. But the victory did not come without a prize. Because the commander of the army, who was a brother to Njinga Mbande, lost his life in that battle. But at least the people of Ndongo gained victory at the end. But his death would change the course of Ndongo Kingdom, because the woman who took power after him will go on to become one of the most formidable force in the history of the African kingdom resistance. Her name was Ndinga Mbande. And she will continue the resistance against the Portuguese for decades. This story is very important. This story is not a cock and bull story. It is not Kokoloko. It's a true life story. 1622, the kingdom of Ndongo, the battle of Mbumbi, 1622. The story is important